Well, we tried to say since the beginning of the season, since the draft, when everybody lost their minds because we sat back and watched the Indiana Fever draft a point guard, when we got the best point guard in the league, you wasted a first-round pick on a draft pick on a point guard instead of getting a big.
That reaction reflects the growing frustration surrounding the Indiana Fever. Many fans feel the team is falling short of expectations, especially after allowing 108 points at home on a highly anticipated night centered around Caitlin Clark. Critics argue that the issue goes beyond a single loss. For them, the bigger concern is a pattern of defensive struggles, inconsistent adjustments, and unanswered questions about the team's direction. As expectations continue to rise, so does the pressure on the coaching staff and front office to deliver solutions.
Can't make fun of her shooting percentage last night. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not gonna do it. Gotta keep it real. But you see this. That starting lineup, 17, 18, 21, 16, 17, 9, 7. The Fever got worked.
Angel Reese delivered a dominant performance, finishing with 23 points and 17 rebounds on efficient shooting. Her impact highlighted concerns that many fans have raised throughout the season about Indiana's interior defense and rebounding. Critics argue that size, length, and frontcourt depth have been issues for the Fever for quite some time. The bench production also drew attention, as several reserve players struggled to make a meaningful impact. Against stronger opponents, these depth concerns become even more noticeable, leading some fans to question whether the roster is fully equipped to compete with the league's top teams.
Stephanie White couldn't get the most out of her. Let's be real. You got Stephanie White not taking responsibility for last night. She's the defensive guru. If they give up 108 points, guess who I'm blaming 100 times out of 100 times? That person on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we let them get to the rim too easily.
Stephanie White was brought back to Indiana largely because of her reputation as a defensive-minded coach. That's why performances like this raise so many questions. The Fever allowed 108 points and struggled to keep Chicago out of the paint throughout the game. Afterward, White acknowledged that her team made it too easy for opponents to get to the rim. Critics argue that the concern isn't simply the defensive breakdown itself, but the lack of visible adjustments when those problems continued. When a team's defensive game plan is repeatedly exposed, fans naturally begin to wonder whether the coaching staff has the answers needed to correct it moving forward.
Just wondering, so you can keep a gig. I mean, hell, you got one taking care of offense, one taking care of defense. What exactly, as they said in Office Space, what exactly would you say you do here? Exactly.
Got to be able to guard one-on-one, and more than anything, like, we got to defend without fouling. I mean, we cannot continue to let people live, in the 20.
The Fever sent Chicago to the free throw line 35 times, a number that immediately raised concerns. After the game, Stephanie White acknowledged the issue, saying the team cannot continue allowing opponents to pile up free throw attempts. However, critics argue that the same problems have appeared repeatedly, with little visible change in strategy or execution. Some fans are now questioning the coaching staff's overall approach, wondering why defensive issues continue to persist despite having multiple coaches responsible for different areas of the game. As frustrations grow, supporters are looking for solutions and greater accountability from the entire organization.
They're down. They're way down. I noticed that. Yesterday. It became a topic of conversation behind the scenes. Yeah, bullshit. I feel numb. Fire the effing shit coach. Disgusting defense cost us the dream. Scored at will. It was embarrassing from the lot of them. Effort zero. Caitlin and Sophie were the only ones that turned up first half.
Fans have started to notice a clear drop in engagement around the Indiana Fever. Social media posts that once generated massive attention are now receiving far less interaction, fueling concerns about fan interest. The issue isn't Caitlin Clark or the team's star players, who continue to produce big numbers. Clark scored 26 points, Kelsey Mitchell added 26, and Aaliyah Boston contributed 23. The concern, according to critics, is the lack of production from the supporting cast and ongoing defensive struggles. When the stars perform, but the team still falls short, frustration naturally begins to grow among the fan base.
Mastermind head coach can't stop anyone on defense. Same scheme over and over again. Fire Steph White. I mean, here we go again. People are seriously out of here on this. They are done. Ask your effing head coach why she has not spent one effing challenge on her starting point guard, who has the worst effing whistle in the entire league. I mean, you see that. I mean, over and over. Please get rid of the fever. Please rid the fever of this brainless clown.
The frustration from fans is becoming impossible to ignore. Many are openly criticizing the front office and coaching staff, arguing that the same strategies continue to produce the same results. One complaint appears repeatedly. Why hasn't a coach's challenge been used more often on plays involving Caitlin Clark, especially when fans believe she absorbs significant contact? Supporters point to specific late-game decisions and question whether the team's stars are being put in the best position to succeed. For many, this isn't just anger. It's disappointment from fans who have invested heavily in the Fever and want to see the organization maximize its championship potential.
Obvious, the Fever are not a championship team. Steph White is an embarrassment. This is wild. I only tune in for CC. The Fever are not fun to watch. I am at the point where if I miss a game, will I miss it? It pains me how the Fever have effed this up. I keep trying to tell people it is not must-see TV for a lot of folks anymore.
Why put Caitlin back in if she wasn't going to get the ball? That's the question many fans keep asking. Critics argue that, in crucial moments, the offense doesn't consistently run through its biggest star. Unless Caitlin Clark creates something on her own, the ball often ends up elsewhere. With the game on the line, supporters believe the team's best playmaker should be heavily involved in every possession. This isn't a criticism of Kelsey Mitchell's talent. It's a reflection of how valuable Clark's playmaking ability is. For many fans, the frustration comes from feeling that one of the league's most dynamic players isn't always being put in the best position to decide the outcome.
That was a painful team to watch. You going to fire White, or do we have to keep watching her coach this team into a loss? It's... Wow. Will any reporter ask Stephanie White why she challenged an obvious foul that Sophie committed but none of the other fake ones called on CC? I brought that up last night. So your fans hate your coach. Do you guys hate her yet too? It's costing you games.
I only tune in for CC. The Fever just aren't fun to watch anymore. And there it is, the harsh reality the front office needs to hear. This team no longer feels like must-see television. Fans are missing games and worse, they don't seem to care. Even when Caitlin Clark puts up incredible numbers, the excitement isn't the same. Compare it to 2024, when every game felt important and every possession demanded attention. Now, many fans wonder if they're really missing anything by skipping a game. For a sports franchise, that's a dangerous place to be. The criticism goes far beyond one loss to Chicago. Many believe the problems began with roster construction. Drafting Caitlin Clark first overall was the obvious franchise-changing move, but questions quickly followed about the team's other decisions. Instead of adding more size, length, and interior defense, the roster remained unbalanced. Critics argue that familiarity was prioritized over fit, and comfort over competition. Questions also surround player development and free agent acquisitions. Some fans point to players thriving elsewhere, while the Fever continue, searching for consistency from their supporting cast. Others wonder why young talent isn't receiving more opportunities when the team clearly needs energy, defense, and fresh contributions. Then there's the coaching criticism. After giving up big scoring nights, fans expected adjustments, different coverage, or lineup changes. Instead, many felt the post-game explanations lacked accountability. The handling of coaches' challenges has also become a talking point, particularly when supporters feel Caitlin Clark isn't receiving enough protection from officials despite constant physical play. Perhaps the most concerning issue is fan engagement. Social media reactions aren't what they once were, and longtime supporters sound more frustrated than angry. The concern isn't simply about losses. It's about a growing belief that the organization is failing to maximize the talent it has. With Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston, the foundation is strong. But championships require more than star power. They require depth, balance, development, and clear direction. That leaves one major question hanging over Indiana. Is the current leadership putting this roster in the best position to succeed, or is valuable time being wasted while the rest of the league moves forward? Fans continue to debate the answer, and the conversation shows no signs of slowing down.